like where there's nobody else, and I just go in my shell and knock out in the woods.
Okay, sounds good. Next morning, we're gonna start everybody in the train station. So the train is moving pretty. It's almost like a 24-hour train. The only difference being at night and early morning, the whistles are not sounding all the time, but it's hitting that part of the morning where it's like the conductors are blowing whistles and calling people in, calling all aboard, and every once in a while you hear like a whistle go off, like a loud whistle, pretty much waking up everybody in that area of like the middle section of town. And you want to say you get there first?
I rise with the sun.
With the sun. So the sun rises around like 6, so you're pretty much really early kind of thing. Thankfully the train is already there. But you want to ask around for someone, or are you gonna just?
I do.
Okay.
I want to ask the man, the Goliath who runs the information station.
Okay.
Whether he knows anything about the young woman Anastasia who came in yesterday.
Okay. He looks like an early riser, just like you, and he has like a little like coffee next to him, and he's just like, good morning, so you ask him about the really rude young woman that came by. He goes, oh, so you mean the lady who cut the entire line?
That sounds about right.
Yeah, unfortunately I met her. I try to waste her time a little bit, but I mean, there's only so much I can do here. I got other people I got to worry about. You know what I'm saying?
I was just curious as to whether she had any sort of a reputation in her hometown or in this one. Because as of right now, she, I, and several companions will be journeying into the belly of the beast with no skills, no powers, and no desirable attributes to be spoken of.
I could tell you one thing. Good luck. And he smiles at you a little bit, and he chuckles. There's not really anybody else online. It's early enough in the morning that nobody really.
There.
Yeah, it's just you and like conductors and like people like still like getting some like early cleaning on the floor before like the rush comes in. And he goes, where are you heading to anyway?
Being as I have not been sworn to secrecy, I can divulge that we are heading to the town of Williston.
Oh, the Williston Express. Oh, yeah. I'm like changing his voice like every 3 seconds. At this point, it doesn't matter anymore. He goes, yeah, platform 3, and I think it's here already. And he goes, hey, and a staff member is like in the distance. He goes, did Williston Express come already? And he goes, like gives him like a thumb up, and he goes, yeah, thanks. Yeah, platform 3, you'll be fine. I'm sure a person your size, you're a tank. You'll be fine. And he says, I've seen a lot of people come through this place. I'm pretty sure you could handle that little lady over there. You seem stoic enough.
I'm more concerned about her safety than my own. Between whoever our opponents are going to be and the members of our own company, I'm not sure if she's going to make it to Williston on the train. But I suppose everything happens for a reason.
He chuckles a little bit. He goes, man, I would have loved to see whoever robbed her at night. And he smiles and he gives you like a little wave, and he sends you on your way, since like people actually like there's a line forming now. And he goes, let me know when you get back. I love to hear whatever stories you bring back. And he smiles at you like a very small Goliath smile, and he takes in the next person. Who else gets who's an early riser? Early
She is
risers.
not
I'm gonna get there like.
Yeah, you're coming last. I can tell you were doing.
I'm gonna get there like a half hour before like we're supposed to meet, or like at least 15, 20 minutes before we're supposed to.
Okay, so like 6:30 around there.
Yeah.
'Cause the train leaves at 7.
Yeah.
Legend's like 5 minutes early.
Okay, so here comes Anastasia. Cool.
Anna for short.
Yeah, Anna. Yep, that's pretty
Make
cool.
it easier for the DM.
Yep.
um, and she'll just sit at one of the benches and she'll just write in her journal. And that's it.
Okay. You actually hear like a conductor call for like all aboard, like not all aboard, but now boarding, track number 3, express to Williston, and you can actually read on your thing. It says express, and here comes Legend right after.
Yep. So is Anastasia still in the train station, or she gotten on the train?
I don't know.
I'm just sitting on the train station. I'm like sitting like not near the platform, but like at one of like the little benches. I guess you want to call them.
On the platform benches. She's just sitting like in front of the train. She hasn't gotten into the train yet.
All right. So I plop down on the bench next to her.
Oh, good.
Hi.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning.
Legend, was it?
It was. And you have a lot of names.
Yeah, you can just call me Anna for short. Yes. Legend, that's quite the name you have. Tell me quickly, how did you get that name?
Well, I'm a gladiator, so I'm, in the ring. I'm kind of a stage presence. It's kind of my stage name.
Like your stage name?
Yes.
You have a real name.
Well, Legend is a real name.
Well, I can fathom that. But I figured maybe perhaps you'd have a real name?
I have another name.
You do? You do?
How close am I to all of this?
Being that you got, are
I'm
you
already on the train.
Yeah, you could.
I'm on the train, so I'm not. I'm like.
But
Probably
the funny part is they actually Ray and Ben actually were able to get you guys window seats.
So I'm sitting right
So,
out.
no, you're not sitting right outside. But if you like turn your head a little bit, you can actually see them two interacting from like a
Bickering.
distance. Yeah. You're like if Anastasia if Anna and Legend are sitting right in front of like one cart of the train, you're like 2 carts down in your seats you're supposed to be in, and like you can see you can actually spot them from where you are.
Do I know how long this train ride is going to be?
The arrival
does the
time.
ticket say that?
Yeah, the arrival time says like around like an hour and a half.
An hour and a half of
Yeah,
a ride?
it's an express train, so it's like pretty much like a cannonball straight down.
I see this nonsense going on, and I just start packing my pipe.
So I'm assuming you got the window seat kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm
I
like,
love this.
nope, not happening.
You guys have anything else to say?
I think I may have just seen the turtle man go on the train. Shall we go on this way? We're not just blindly trying to follow and see where each of the other members are.
Sure, let's go.
Of course. And I'll get up and I'll pack my little book back in my little backpack and walk in the train.
And here comes 1 minute before the train leaving. Ron's.
I take a swig of my ale right next to my. I'm still in the inn. I'm still in the meat for thee.
It's okay. I'm gonna give you. How far is this thing from here? I'm gonna give you 5 minutes. You have
Oh, he's
5
gonna have to
minutes
roll.
to run your way. I'm gonna need an athletics check to see if you even get there on time.
Okay,
Oh,
okay, okay.
God.
I take a swig of my ale right next to my bedside.
Oh, dear.
Oh, bloody hell, what time is it? So, athletics?
Yeah, athletics. You have to get out of bed and you have to run your way to the station.
GG.
Okay.
GG.
So that's, I got an 11.
Just barely made it. You kind of roll out of bed, and he goes, and you kind of like stumble. Were you drinking last night, kind of thing?
All night.
Okay, you're just recovering from the worst hangover, like a pretty bad hangover, not the worst you ever handled, but pretty bad. And you're like stumbling down the stairs, and the Kenku behind the thing goes, good luck, my guy. And he smiles at you, and he's you gotta pay me first before you leave. And like one guy like kind of like he noticed that you're like still like drunkily stumbling. You just pay the man really quick, and you can get out of here. And so you gotta pay the guy.
How much is it gonna be? I gotta get out of here.
You know, man, you gave me a good laugh yesterday. 2 gold, man.
Here you go.
And then you pop it down. You don't even like hand it to them, but you like slam it on like the countertop, and now you're just like drunkenly running down the street towards the towards the train station, and like it's that point in the morning, and it's this part of town that like the only time you really see drunken people running down the street is either the fighting district or it's the gunslingers and the ranger district.
Oh, no.
And so like people, it's that early in the morning that some people like a lot of people have coffee and they're taking it easy because a lot of people have been there for a while, and they see you and they just get out of your way. They're like, this guy's on a mission, and some people just like. Literally, almost everybody gets out of your way as you're like drunkenly running down the street. You just barely. The conductor is like, he's like, all aboard, and he's like raising like this light to like signal to the engineer to start the train, and you hear the whistle train go, whoop, and you're just like drunkenly like sloppily like falling onto the platform.
I yell out, "Wait, goddammit! I'm coming on the train!"
And he luckily he actually wait, let me see. Yeah, he spots you. He's like, we got one more, and he does like he turns off his light and then turns it back on, kind of thing, to like let the engineer not to like leave right now this moment. He goes and as you're coming in, as you're like going like into the door right in front of him, he's like, you're cutting it pretty close, and he like closes his little pocket watch and he sticks it back into his like little conductor thing, and he goes, every single time, and he closes the door, and you hear like the train actually go, and as it like does that first like quick turn, and just like that, you guys are now on a train to Willisden, the Willisden Express. As you slowly, I'm pretty Ray and Fen actually got you guys all seats together in like a booth.
Yeah.
A booth for 4.
Like I'm seeing thinking like Harry Potter.
Like a Harry Potter thing,
No
but
table in the middle.
No.
Or...
no, there's no table in the middle.
Okay, so like Harry Potter kind
so,
of booth.
Yeah, it's like Harry Potter kind of booth. There's actually a little bit more space for maybe like 2 other people, which you probably assume is for Ray and Fen. As the train starts to take off, the train actually goes whoop whoop, and it heads underground for like a good like 5, 6, 7 minutes. And then, but this train is like it's an express, so it's like it's making its way down the track, and just like that, the once your eyes have to adjust a little bit to like the light that's like the morning light coming in, and I can only imagine how he's feeling. Just like that light, you're like, as the light comes into your, as the tunnel opens and the light gets brighter and brighter until you guys are now zooming down the countryside on the Willisden Express.
Are Ray and Fen with us at this point?
No, they're not.
I'd like to
They're
add
not yet.
something. I'd like to add something for Urst.
Yeah.
When he got on the train, he goes down and sits on their side of the booth because
Yeah.
Mr. Turtle Man over here is so large, and I'm so drunk that I can't even fit myself next to him. So I'm just squished in between. She's like stuck in the middle, Anna.
With like
great.
with my body on form almost like crumpled up, just like I actually pull out of my knapsack a little perfume bottle and I spray it towards the direction.
I just fall asleep snoring heavily, drooling on her.
I'm gonna say that there is, it's tight because he's in there, but there's still like just enough space for like
Yeah.
maybe 1 or 2 like people just squished into there. Just you were just like drunk enough that like
Yeah,
you guys are
didn't even
sitting,
try.
and despite what he's saying, it's still like a little bit like it's wide enough that you guys still have like a little bit of space for each other. But he's like taking
Right,
up
but
like
I'm like squishing her.
yeah, you're like you guys
Squishing
are
her
touching
with
each
him.
other pretty much, and you guys are making your way down the countryside. So it's any open discussion is definitely welcome right now.
I gently lift Brown's bottom's head off of me and and like lean it against the door, like the opposite where the door is. Cause I'm imagining like the window, me being in the middle. Oh my god. You know, it's times like these where I wish I really wish I studied the silence spell. Oh my god. I can't survive this.
I was like, is there something else coming?
Oh man.
And then, in light of this horrible situation we're in, I wake Ernst up. I go, Ernst, my friend, please.
Who the bloody
I say, take this, and I take these leaves and I shove them in his mouth.
What do the leaves do?
And the leaves are called risen root, and it's just like a kind of like a advanced caffeine thing that I would take just to wake me up a little bit more, but for him it's like to get rid of his hangover. So I just take that out of my herbalism kit, push it in his mouth. I say, chew that really slowly. Make sure you don't swallow it though.
I chew it fast.
No, no.
What does that do if he chooses it?
End
fast?
up swallowing a little bit.
So
And
So now he's wired.
Mother of mercy, what did you put in that? What was that you gave me? Oh, how did I get here? Are we on a train?
yeah, you're still like pretty much making your way down the countryside. Actually, who's the window seat, and window seat, right? You guys, if you actually look, if you ever
This is actually the arrangement. Like the way
yeah, it's actually
Ironically,
perfect.
yes.
You if you ever happen to look out the window, it's actually a quite beautiful view. Nice. Imagine the Windows XP wallpaper, but real life.
Okay.
With the hill and the perfect sun and like everything's like oof, perfect. And the sun is like getting to that point in the sky that's not really orange anymore, but it's like a nice, pure, perfect blue. And you actually get to a point where you hear the conductor open like the and the door closes as it goes, tickets please, and you see a half elf. Very like dressed to the nines, like in a very, very tight uniform. Looks like he's very well kept. As he walks forward and he goes, tickets please, and he clicks it. So like, and a couple people were like sleeping. They actually wake up a little bit from just the sound. And he's like pulling tickets, and he goes, oh, have a nice day, have a nice day. Thank you for riding the Willisden Express. This, that, and that, and he eventually makes it to you guys. And what do you do?
I give him my ticket.
I also give him my ticket.
And he takes everybody's ticket all at once, and he actually like clips through all four of them at the same time. He does like a couple clips, and then he goes, "Thanks." And he smiles a little bit, and he goes, he notices that you guys are like a little bit towards like the end of the cart. He goes, "I think everybody's good here," and he does like a one quick pass through the place, and he smiles at you a little bit, and he opens the car door and he closes it again, and there he goes. That half elf. And there's about like 5 minutes of silence, just like the rattling of the car a little bit, as you hear like the door open again. But from where the conductor came from, it goes, tickets please. And you actually see two people now coming down the aisle, and some people are like waking up like, and he goes, yeah, I'm sorry, it's just like a protocol thing, just don't worry about it. And he smiled like that person you see at a distance like smiles, and the other person is actually a half orc, and she smiles a little bit, like a very small smile, and she's also like clipping tickets, and they're handing tickets back and forth, and the two people walk up to your thing and goes, "So how's your trip, guys?" And you notice it's actually Ray and Fen, and they're both in like just almost like dressed to the nines as well. In
We
like
work for the train company.
I don't know. You want to ask them that?
Yes. Do you two work for the train company?
And he smiles. He like pretends to like clip your like sloppily. You can tell like he's never done this before. And he's like, not even close. And he hands you guys back your tickets. It's you guys are the last ones. And he goes, "We just needed a free ride onto the thing. We kind of used all our money on your guys' tickets." And
Oh my
he's
god!
goodness.
If that was the case, you should have told me.
Even Kerma has money to afford a train ticket.
We've been around a lot, my dude. And he
you
goes,
poor
"Well, this is the
thing.
end of our ride anyway." And he kind of just like plops down next to you. And so it's you on one side, right? And then all three of them on the other side, right? So there's actually a little bit space for like one more person to fit in. And so Fen actually sits on your side, and Rafe sits on your side, and Fen sits on your guys' side. They're both now being a lot closer to them. You can tell it's not like a straight up like uniform. It's just for like a passing glance, knowing that a lot of people are not really gonna look at the conductor a lot. And he smiles and he goes, "I'm glad you really guys were able to make it. It took a little while to make these kinds of uniforms." And he smiles a little bit, and he actually pulls open his conductor's thing. It's pretty much just like a jacket that he just made to look like a conductor's thing. And he pulls out a book. He goes, "So here's the plan for the thing." And he actually like pulls out like the book has like a little like elastic on it, and he pulls it off and he opens it up to show like just as well detailed as that drawing that you saw during the orientation. It's just like perfectly detailed, but with like one color only. You can tell like he's a very good artist. And he like, "So here's the plan, you guys." And he starts explaining to you that it's gonna be like a 20-minute walk, like off the beaten path to these catacombs that your job is for. And he smiles at you and he goes, and he really can't stop smiling. He's just extremely happy to see all you guys. And he goes, I'm really glad you guys were able to make it. It really means a lot to me." And he, so how did everybody make it on today?
Well,
Good, I hope?
Yes.
By the nick of my teeth.
You've been drinking all night?
I'm a dwarf. That's all we do. Drink and fight.
Yeah, if it wasn't for me, Fen would have been drinking all night too. But we made it. Don't worry about it. We actually jumped on the end of the train, and he's like laughing as he's telling you like this lavish story as like it's like him and Fen were able to like as the train was leaving. Pretty much, if you were to look at the scene that of you stumbling onto the train, it's them also like sprinting behind the train and like pulling themselves onto the caboose. And then making their way onto the train, and then as conductors, like with no suspicion, because the conductors like sometimes they just don't care, and they see another conductor from a distance, they're like, "It's a conductor," and they eventually made their way towards you, and he seems like a really like light-hearted guy, as he's actually every time he speaks to you, he looks directly at you, like eye contact.
This half elf.
Yeah, this half elf. And Fen, as on the other side, doesn't just kind of just has her like she puts her foot up like a little bit on Ray's side. Like if Ray was sitting down, she put like her foot like on the seat like next to him. So she's just like chilling a little bit. She's resting from that run they pretty much told you they did. And it's kind of funny because every time he tries to strike up conversation with you, like someone comes by and goes, "A conductor," and he's like, "Oh yeah," and he's like playing it off like, "Yeah, just take the train all the way to the end, and you got it. You're going to Willis Den." And he's just like playing off all these people as he pretty much he's just happy to see you, as he just like stretches a little bit and goes, "Just a few more, like 30 more minutes till we get there, and then we'll be on our way. We can start our job, and then we'll be on our way to the greatest story ever told, right?
It's a shame we weren't able to wander through this beautiful countryside.
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it? And
In the silence of it just all being a conversation, whatever, of course Anastasia's bored. So, like, in the midst of all this happening, she's just fiddling with her outfit, making sure that it's just clean and it's just, there's nothing on it, no dirt or anything. Like, she's ready to go on an adventure, but just fiddling out of boredom.
okay, actually, Fen is actually doing almost the exact same thing, but with like, remember that trigger that she pulled, like she sleight of handed from her thing. It's almost like it's a trigger with a cap on it and the safety. So she's kind of just like flipping it up, flipping it down, flipping it up, flipping it down, flipping.
Gunplay.
Yeah, it's almost like gunplay. It's almost a little bit off of what you'd see a gunslinger do with like their gun just like flipping. Ray also he still has his gun strap, but he's obviously like more concealed, being a conductor. But now that he's with you guys, he kind of just opens his jacket and just like
Reveals the true outfit underneath.
yeah, it's just like a normal outfit. It's something you normally see gunslingers wear. Nothing too fancy, nothing too bad, honestly. As Fen is just still like just playing and just like she's spaced out. She's spaced out to another galaxy, and it takes about like 30 or 40 more minutes until you guys finally get to Williston. And it doesn't. After that point, they actually Ray and Fen actually take off all their conductor stuff, and they like take it and they like put it into a bag that they had, and they just like put it under a thing, and it goes, ah, yes, nice. Have a nice day, everyone. And like some people are like that they played off before, like have a nice day, conductor. All these like sometimes like families, like little kids, have a nice day, conductor. Oh, have a nice day. And they're like Ben is Ray is just playing it off, like yeah, and Ben is just like, have a nice.
Oh wait, I had a quick question.
Yeah.
Like right towards the end of the train ride,
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, so, what do you all intend to do with your share of the money?
Well, Ray kind of pipes up and goes, I'm gonna put it back into the guild. That's, I mean,
An honorable decision.
I mean, I'm in this for the story, so But I could buy a cool weapon, maybe beer. I don't know. What about you, Moneybags?
What? That's a personal preference. That I will keep to myself.
Well, me, I need to save my money up. I'm running quite low after my last adventure.
Yeah, I could smell it off of you.
Keep it up, lassie. You'll have another thing coming.
Oh no.
it's gonna be a great campaign. So you guys get to Williston. It's a very small, quaint town. The town is mostly surrounded by a lot of trees. If you were to look at a map, it's pretty much just like Williston, forest, and then like mountains in the distance. So it's pretty secluded, but the fact that there's even an express train here means that like some people are doing work here. So it doesn't take long for you guys to like leave, and then so Ray actually pulls out his book again and starts following this map that he's like pretty much drawn himself just from like looking at. Looks like he just pretty much carbon copied another map. That's how well this drawing is. And he goes, as he like leads you into the forest, he goes, so what honestly kept you guys here? Like, cause I've done this a lot. Like, I've seen a lot of people say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna come by and stuff like that. But really nothing. And at this point, he's actually like, he's still doing that eye contact thing. That every time like he sees someone like about to speak, he'll like look in their direction directly. And Ben is actually still like by his side in case, like almost like in case of anything. She's still fiddling around, but she's still like pretty like calm, cool, and collected kind of thing. As like Ray does all of the talking kind of thing. And he goes, so what kept you guys here?
What do you mean kept us here? Like for us to actually go on this adventure?
Yeah.
Oh, That's personal.
I can respect that. What about you guys? Oh, you guys are walking through the forest now. It's really off the beaten path, but yeah, you guys are walking through the forest right now.
I do not require the funds that you promised, although I will accept them in full. But I do enjoy from time to time the camaraderie of adventure. So I'm here to experience friendship and excitement for a few times in my brief life.
What about you, Bronze Bottom? You recovering from that hangover yet?
Aye,
The Risen Root.
that.
You gave him one of those, and he smiles at you. He goes, "Did you actually give him one of those?"
Remember, I stuffed the leaves of the
But
Risen
he wasn't
Root?
there when you did that.
Oh, yes. I
He
gave
smiles. He
him-
goes. He gave him one. Oh my god! I remember the first time, and he starts telling you this story about like how them at a young age, you'd be like, "Let me put this in my mouth," kind of thing, and like they were wired for like a good like day straight. And he's just like laughing, and like even Fen would actually give like a chuckle every once in a while as she like reminisces from these old times that they've had together. He goes, "So how you feeling, man?"
I feel as though every ounce of my body has been awoken from a deep slumber.
Oh my god.
Shush it! I'm talking here.
I
Why?
also have a complaint. This woman hasn't given us a single piece of information since we arrived here. We're in the middle of the woods, headed to an unknown destination, only under the assumption that all of us here are honest and good, but she has revealed nothing.
You're such complainers. And she'll pull off her cape and she'll bear the fact that she has a lute on her back and at her waist a rapier, as well as the fact that she's wearing a fine blue silken shirt with cutouts of where she keeps leather shoulder armor on. She wears a almost baby blue, not like corset, but just waist belt with like frilly cream colored detailings and her standard adventurer pants and stuff. You complain so much. Look, and she turns around and shows the lute. Look, Bod. Are we happy now?
He goes, "Man, I would have never." He kind of like looks at like he could see like you can really tell like from people like what class they are, especially being in like a town like you guys started in. You can like look at somebody and be like, "That guy's a monk. That guy's a fighter," kind of thing, and he kind of goes, "I really didn't expect that one," and he kind of chuckles a little bit as she shows that she's a bard.
Yeah, see, wow, okay. You had a good look at the loot in the back? Okay, cool. And she puts the cape back on.
I tighten my grip on my quarterstaff.
As I was saying, I stuck around for this one because I sense a great deal of valor that might come of this. I must regain my honor to one day go back home.
Something really interesting about when you started talking, since so many things were happening at the same time, Ray couldn't keep eye contact with one person too long, so he's kind of still looking at like that everybody like kind of chuckling a little bit at Anna here, but as you start talking, he still doesn't even like notice that he's been started talking yet, and Fen actually has to like nudge him a little bit to be like nudge him and like to look in a certain direction, and he's like, and then as you're getting, he's probably like getting hit like halfway point of that conversation, and he's squinting a little bit at you, like directly like at your face, like, yeah, me too. I got everybody has one of those kind of those backgrounds, and his smile like fades a little bit.
Insight check?
Yeah.
16, but it's probably a minus.
Oh no.
Yeah,
what?
15.
15.
It's a minus?
You notice that it's almost like Fen isn't by his side for no reason. It's not like she's just like clingy kind of thing. It's more like she's there for a reason.
Okay.
you know that it's something that kind of picked up your since you do your insight check, like him looking around is a purpose to that. That him just looking like as you speak to him, he'll like look directly at you, like and not only like as like not like a power. Not I'm not saying that it's like a power move kind of thing, but it's like he'd be like, okay, and then like as soon as you're done talking, he'll take like a half a second to respond, kind of thing.
Okay.
I would also like to do an insight check.
Okay, go.
Okay, let's see if I do this right. I got 18.
18
and I
plus
have
what?
a plus 1.
19.
So 19. And I want to know, I've been pondering as to why this half-elf absolutely has to stare into your eyes when you're speaking.
Oh man, how do I do this? You kind of just straight off from what she said, what I told her. It's not like a power move. It's more like he really wants to know what you're talking about.
Okay. Can I only do one thing?
Yeah, you can do one again later.
Okay, because
Okay.
I'm still suspicious of her.
Okay.
Still suspicious of her. I think she's evil. I'm uncertain of her alignment.
You know, since you got like you said you got 19, you notice that whenever like due to him making eye contact all the time, you see like Fen like almost like pointing him in the right direction when he's talking to someone. And it doesn't take long, and it doesn't probably take something like 15-20 minutes for you guys to make yourself to like the side of this mountain. And he goes, "We're here," and he goes, "Where?" He like opens up his book. He's like, "Where?" And he turns around. And he goes, "Here?"
Oh my god, are you lost?
And we're gonna just take a break right now.
Oh
gonna take-
dear.
We're gonna take a quick break.
Boy.
I have been drinking a lot of water, and I have to use the bathroom.
She.
For coming and listening to this this beginning part. If
Thank you.
Yeah.
Just give us like 10 minutes as we stretch a little bit and
Meditate.
get some bearings. Actually, everybody when they come back is gonna be level 3.
Hey.
Everybody's level
up.
2.
Ding,
Now
ding,
everybody's
ding.
level 3. So we'll see you guys in about like 10 minutes or 5-10 minutes. 11 minutes. Apparently.